I was born in a Victorian terraced home. Had mom, dad, 2 older brothers. When I was about 7 I was walking down the attic stairs, they were in a spiral. When I turned to face the landing I saw an old man leaning against the banisters about 2 meters in front of me. He had blood down his face and on his shirt. I screamed. I didn't even think about ghosts, I thought we had a real person in our house. My parents ran up the stairs and found me in a bit of a state, calmed me down, and explained that they knew about him. Apparently when they moved in they would see a white figure walking along the landing from downstairs. In the lounge you could look up onto the hall landing upstairs. They thought one of my brothers was out of bed so would check and they weren't. They purposefully didn't tell my brothers in case it scared them, but eventually they saw it too. You'd also hear him walking up and down the attic stairs. They were old and every step had a distinctly unique sound. You could literally tell what part of the stairs someone was on just by their sound, and at the bottom you'd hear a loud hollow thump. Anyway, I was the only one who saw the man in detail, everyone else saw him as a white figure. I saw him once more up close and then only saw him as a white figure after that. My dad asked a man across the street who had lived there his whole life about the history of our house. He didn't say anything about a ghost. The man said that before us an old couple lived there. The woman died and the man became an alcoholic. One day a neighbor found him outside the door. He'd tripped up the curb and smashed his head. He helped him in and put him in a chair. Didn't think it looked too bad, but a few days later he was found dead. We would hear him most nights. I'd have to have my radio on all night to drown him out. He never did anything bad, just appeared now and then and noisily walked up and down. I don't know why, but we never thought of telling anyone. It was normal. He lived there. Woman shrugging. Our neighbors also saw him walking along the landing one day when they visited. I was homeschooled for the last year and my home tutor was there once. It was only us 2 in the house. We heard walking above us and she looked up and asked if one of my brothers had come home. I told her it was just the ghost and she looked so freaked out, left early and refused to tutor me without someone else there. Faced with tears of joy, I moved out when I was 19 and my parents sold it a few years later. I dream about the house still after 23 years pretty much every few days. It's like I'm linked to it, maybe because I was born in it. Anyway, sorry it's so long, but this is what got me interested in the subject. I've had a few more experiences at other times since, but this is the main one. Just thought I'd add because it's weird, but I spoke perfectly fine before I saw him. Ever since that moment I've had a debilitating stutter, seen many speech therapists through the years but no use. My fiancé and I went for a 3-day trip to Gatlinburg and we've spent our days in the mountains hiking and spending time in and around the national park. Tonight at around midnight, trying to get all the time in the mountains we can, we decide to take an hour drive from our hotel room up the mountain to an overview/lookout type of spot right on top of said mountain to see if we can catch an awesome look at the stars, because there's a lot of lights in Gatlinburg at night. Driving up there, neither of us noticed literally anything off other than that the mountain winds are a little spooky at night, from FL, so it's just unfamiliar. But as soon as we get to where we were going and she and I got out of my car, I'm almost overwhelmed with just a vile oppressive feeling outside with me, but not wanting to make the lady uncomfortable I don't react too much just yet. The wind is absolutely roaring, and unfortunately we couldn't see any stars due to cloud cover, so I tell her I'm gonna step to the side and pee and then we can get back to the hotel room. As soon as I get like 10 feet away I get a very strange feeling of extreme vulnerability and detachment from everything around me, almost as though I'm miles away from the nearest person, though obviously I'm feet away from my fiancé. I turned around to walk back to the car and heard something off to my right and instinctively looked over to see something roughly human size go down to coyote size and kind of just hop over a rail from about 200 maybe more feet away. I quickly get back to the car and usher my fiancée in, still not trying to scare her or at least show her I'm scared, but she asked if I was alright and my reaction was a dead giveaway. We jumped in and sped off. Never in my life have I had an experience like this, and never in my life have I really had a reason to be made uncomfortable of just being outside, but I truly believe something was in those woods with us tonight.
Like, share, subscribe, and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.